There we go. Hey, I'm Rick.
I'm Sarah.
And we are
Above the Dash.
It's been a while since we've been above the dash. Been pretty busy. Life is good. We're not complaining, right?
We've been above the dash a whole lot. We just haven't been live.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We're always above the dash. We're always driving.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just haven't been live.
There you go. There you go. So, market's flattening out a little bit. At least it's showing signs of actually flattening out a little bit. So it becomes even more important if you're going to make an offer on a property to not make mistakes. So we ran across an article that reflects, I think it's 7, right?
Yeah.
7 mistakes not to make when negotiating an offer for a property. Make sure to check out our new Flipboard pages. We have Flipboard pages now. Your property masters, your property managers, and that's it. Your property managers and your property managers. So, here we go. What's number 1 there?
Ignore how long the house has been on the market.
So these are things not to do. So she's not telling you to ignore how long the house is on the market. That's very important. I mean, if a house just went on the market and 80 people went to see it, what are you going to probably pay? You're probably going to pay more, right? More than what it's actually worth, because there's likely to be multiple offers. But in today's world, if a house has been on the market for 30 days or more, you could be a little bit more aggressive with your offer. You can't be too aggressive at 30, but then you get up to 60, it can be a little more aggressive. Anything above that, likely have a seller who's not willing to budge. Someone else has probably already tried to submit an offer. But of course, consider how long the property's been on the market when you're writing your offer. Mainly if it's a short time or if it's a longer time.
Number 2, showing you can afford more than your offer.
Yeah. How many times do we receive an offer and the prices, the offers for $175, and they send an approval letter for $190? I mean, we're like, well, I'm pretty sure that they'll take more. That they'll pay more. They're approved for more. May or may not pay more, but certainly the seller, if we show that to the seller's more likely at that point to counter hire, aren't they? So what you need is a good lender. I happen to know one sitting right next to you. You need a good lender who will generate a letter for you that is exactly the amount of your offer. So they may or may not counter at that point, but you don't want to you don't go all in and you don't show your cards before you make your bet. So you want to make sure that your offer letter is exactly the same as your offer is.
Number 3, assume all fixtures are included in the purchase.
Yeah, how many times has grandma's chandelier, they're taking that with you, and you go to do your final walkthrough and you loved it when you made the offer, and poof, it's gone. Don't assume that all fixtures are going with the offer. Our contract actually lists most of the fixtures, but if there's something specific that you want, make sure to call it out. And likewise, if you're a seller and there's something that you're going to keep, that you're going to be taking down, let's say you put up a brand new ceiling fan that you love, you're going to take that with you, then you're going to want to include that in the contract, saying that that isn't going to convey. So don't assume anything for that matter, not only the fixtures, but refrigerators, stoves, whatever. Anything that you expect is staying, make sure it is in the contract saying it is staying, or else it's not going to stay.
Number 4, focusing too much on the home price.
What do they mean by that? What are they explaining on that one exactly? As far as explaining on the home price.
It's very lengthy.
Just in general, though.
Okay,
What? Person from where? Where everything? North Virginia. Alright.
Instead of focusing on a lower number, which may turn off sellers, there are other ways to get the same result, and see if the seller can pay like the closing costs and that type of thing.
Okay. So when you're making an offer, maybe what you want to focus on is what you are going to net out of pocket and what the seller is going to net into their pocket. For instance, if you're doing a $200,000 house and you need $8,000 in closing costs, then that seller's only going to net $192. So you can't focus on the $200,000 purchase price or asking price. You may have to pay more than asking price, ask for the $8,000 in closing costs, say $205 with $8,000 in closing costs, and then the seller is going to net. Look at that card. The seller is going to net the seller is then going to net $197. So you got to really focus on what the net is, not what the actual offer is, because your offer is what it is minus any concessions that you're asking for, which may be zero. Okay, then you could make that $190 offer, but you can't make the $190 offer and ask for $8,000 in closing costs. I mean, you can, but once they get up off the floor from laughing at you, they're certainly going to just say, no thanks, see you later.
Okay, number 5. Tell me what you think about this. Not flattering the seller.
So, especially in a competitive, not flattering, they're saying.
This doesn't have anything to do with lowballing.
Right, okay. So they're talking about you need to flatter the seller so that you want to show them that you love everything in there. So
how would you do that within an offer? This is something that I haven't experienced, what they're suggesting.
We have in competitive situations occasionally pointed out how great the buyer is, how much they love the property, how much they love the pool, something like that. You wouldn't do it within the offer
They're
per se.
suggesting that the buyer writes a letter.
That'll work. We've never done that. We've often written letters, and not really letters, but in the email we've pointed out things they loved about it and how much they want. But yeah, that's not really too bad of an idea, especially in a competitive situation. For the buyer to write a letter about why they love the place so much, it creates a connection between the buyer and the seller that's definitely lost because they never have met each other. So not a bad idea. I don't know that. I think that's more of a competitive situation type of thing, but I don't know that we would do that necessarily. But it can't hurt. What?
I don't know that it's up your alley.
No?
Number 6.
No? Come on now.
Lowballing your offer.
Do not lowball your offer. You're just wasting your time. You're actually going to end up paying more if you end up buying the property in the first place. Come in with an offer that doesn't insult, expecting a counter, and come in with a number that's your maximum number, and obviously don't offer that right away unless it's a competitive situation. If it's not competitive though, come in with a number that's reasonable, below what you're willing to pay, and see where it goes from there, because all you're going to do is piss people off. Even if you have the letter telling them how great their house is, or how much you love this or that or the other, that's just going to make somebody angry, and they're just immediately going to then shut down and put up their wall. They're going to build their wall, and they're never ever
Would they perhaps not even counter?
Good possibility that they won't even counter it. And then you set yourself up really, and then you come back with a higher number, like, well, why didn't they do that in the first place? I don't want to sell these guys. And then so it creates animosity is what I'm looking for. Creates animosity between the buyer and the seller, and obviously we don't want to do that. We want all the parties to get along. One great thing about this business is you have parties with common interests. You have a buyer who wants to buy, you have a seller who wants to sell, and you have parties involved who don't get paid unless it happens. So everybody is on the same page here. There's no need to create animosity by lowballing your offer.
But why do we care about that if they end up coming to terms with an amount? What else is still left?
What do you mean?
Why do they care? So what if they came in and lowballed them and created all of that, but they ended up coming to terms? Why do we care?
One reason I can think of off the top of my head would be if there was a what's the word I'm looking for? Like if you did an inspection and there were some problems with it and you wanted some repairs.
Right.
Is that where you're going with
that?
Yeah.
That there's still a whole lot left in the process.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They
got to work together.
Yeah. Well, you have that, possibly that, and then also the appraisal, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and you're gonna have and if there's animosity there from the beginning, even if you do come to terms, you're like, screw you, I'm not fixing anything.
Right.
Or when it comes to it doesn't appraise by $5,000, now you're fighting over $5,000 as opposed to maybe agreeing in the middle. I'll pay $2,500 more, you discount $2,500 more. So if everyone gets along from the beginning, the process is a whole lot smoother. You're not getting over on anybody. It's only usually a couple $1,000s anyway, which is not chump change, don't get me wrong. But when you're buying a $200,000 house, $1,000, you know, is what? $5 worth of payment.
And then number 7, I mean, and it's insulting the home.
That's the opposite of number 5, right? Yeah. Who's going to want to work with someone who says that your home sucks? I mean, you think maybe you're beating the house down, oh, it needs a lot of work or something like that. It's one thing to say, hey, the house needs painting or it needs new carpet. They probably know that. You're not insulting the house, but don't go in there and be like, phew. But if you're insulting the house, why do you want to buy it anyway? If you're really insulting it. So it's just a big positioning. And again, it has no integrity. 2 parties with integrity will get a lot more done than 2 parties trying to get one over on each other. And especially as you work through the process again, like we talked about just a minute ago. So, you know, all of these are pretty good things. And the bottom line is come in with a reasonable offer. You know, it doesn't have to be your highest, but come in with a reasonable offer. Factor in your closing costs beforehand, not afterwards, and be respectful of the seller's property. And then all of a sudden you'll find how great people can cooperate, right? 2 people are working together for a common cause with the knowing what everyone's cause is. Then all of a sudden we can get that done, and we can get it done, and everyone will leave the transaction feeling happy and feeling like they did good and did right. Check us out. We got all kinds of new blog posts at yourpropertymastersblog.com. We got all kinds of Flipboard pages now. You can share your articles to our Flipboard as well. Check us out. Find us there. It's Your Property Masters on Flipboard. It's Your Prop Masters on Twitter. And on Facebook, of course, we're Your Property Masters. You're watching us right now. You can do that. So anyway, 386-866-1007. If you know anyone selling any property, please let us know. Inventories are still extremely low. We have tons of buyers. There's hardly any inventory out there. One of our team will be happy to help you. 386-866-1007.